All right. Okay, so I believe no one is here for the first time. Anyone here for the first time? I think none. All right, so let's get started. So welcome to another day of the Agile Scrum. Before we begin, today we are getting into the brand new topic of business analysis. So before we start, let's set some context, and that is the, knowing our own guidelines. That will be as a part of reminder, just not for you, but for everyone, including me. So what is expected and how it is going to be. The very first one that demands you to be on time by showing up live, because Agile is full of ceremonies. So you need to be in time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed. Why? Because as I said, Agile is full of ceremony and that demands it, and you need to practice it. So once you practice it over here, it will be quite easy for you to demonstrate it once you get place. And there is another universal law associated with this, says that how you do anything is how you do everything. The second one, on this journey, you are learning directly, indirectly, relearning or unlearning. So you need to just not be the student. You need to be the full stack student who does all the assignment, does self-research, and repeat what they learn. The third one, on this path, once you do that, it is quite easy. When you finish what you start, you may hit the success. Uh, Taking full responsibility of this is quite easy, but if not, then you need to take the full responsibility of failure as well. And when you do that, it will be quite easy to correct that, and you will realize failure does not remain failure, but remains the trail for the success. And fourth, to do so, it requires a concrete mindset. The very first one that wants you to be more learning minded. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself going more positive minded. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself going more complaint free. And you ever never find any bottleneck to complete the any project, or else you will be aware and you will have the sufficient mitigation plan before well in time. And more complaint free you will become, you will find yourself getting soaked in more gratitude that leads to the happiness. The fifth one, to do so, it really requires you to start your day with the increased receptivity. And for that very reason, I have one audio program for that. I request you all to participate in. This is not a mandate. This is a recommendation, 30 days audio program. While you walk or jog, you can definitely put it into 2x mode, and you will be completely amazed to see how it is impacting every single course of your life positively, mere by listening. And yeah, you can ask for this link anytime after the session. Just DM and you'll get that. Second, because we are taking a deep dive towards the deep learning, you must remember to follow the golden quadrant of learning that comes with the first step, the declaration with the anchor, and then take a deep dive into deep learning. And then after that, draw like this. You can choose to draw after 24 hours as a notes using pen and paper, and then summarize it in a way that even 5 years old can understand. So we will declare an anchor, and then we'll get into learning. So let's start. Can you all see the selection happened on the screen? Everyone, just say yes if you can.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's just try to model me. I will count 1, 2, 3, and clap, and you will do that. 1, 2, 3, clap, and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
What
good learner.
what others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
Next statement with me. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm an
Because I'm an awesome learner.
Today's learning is going to be
Today's learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
Super duper easy to me.
All right, and those who could do that, definitely it is going to be. Those who could not, so remember the sixth one that says that on this path you need to be the giver, especially keeping ego away on the path of learning. That keeps you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. Spiritually grounded means happiness level increases, and happiness is today's new productivity, and that is the demand of the corporate. And while you are doing so, it is quite easy to flourish when it comes to position and job. But also, you are not here just for the position, but also for the prosperity, also for earning, and you need to grow that. And for that very reason, if you are already earning, then at least start giving away 5% or 10% of your earning to any causes or charity wherever you believe in case you don't have at least an intention that once you will start earning, you will do so. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And while you do so, appreciate what you do, what others do for you, and even what does not seem that is happening in favor of you, continue to do that, because there is another universal law associated with this that says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And days how we are going to remain connected is on Sunday. We are going to meet at 10 p.m. EST. We have been meeting Monday for technical session 10 p.m. EST. We have been meeting Tuesday. You are going to attend RRP session. Very, very important for your profile optimization, brand building as a business analyst or scrum master, or reference ready resume preparation that enhances your visibility, credibility, and marketability. Even though it is repeated, you must attend it every single time until you get placed. Wednesday, you must do the assignment from Sunday, whether it is given or not given. When it is not given, it means that you need to summarize whatever you have learned within minimum 90 seconds, maximum 3 to 4 minutes, not more than that, in a way that 5 years old can understand. Just simplify it. For what you can do, you can simply flaunt the notes you have taken after 24 hours of learning using pen and paper, and then explain it in set time. And Thursday, you are going to repeat RRP session. It is never recorded, and your visibility that enhances credibility and pushes RRP team for your own marketability. Friday, you can do the assignment from Monday's learning, and Saturday, you can choose to relax or research in the topic wherever you want to, and repeat what they have learned, you have learned, or prepare the question that you want to have the answer on the next day, that is on Sunday. So this is how we are going to remain connected. So are we good with this? Just say yes if it has gone deep to you. Yeah, and ready to abide by? Say yes.
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 Thank you so much for confirmation. So let's get started with the brand new topic, that is business analysis today. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with all of you. And before I begin, one more time, this question: anyone here for the first time attending this? Anyone here for the first time? Okay, I'll just count 1, 2, 3 and begin. 1, 2, 3. Let's get started. So we are going to get started with the subject business analysis today. We are transitioning. We have touched already Agile and Scrum. So it's time to get into more functional. So as I say, Agile and Scrum are the foundation of any software delivery, where business analysis are the pillar. So we need to understand everything: what, when, where, and history. So let's start with the history. Okay, I want to invite someone to read the first bullet point for me. Anyone?
History. IEA was founded in Toronto, Canada in October 2003 to support the business analysis community. The board.
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
The body of the Knowledge Committee was formed in October 2004 to define and draft a global standard for the practice of the business analysis. In Jan 2005, IIB released a version 1.0 of a guide to the business analysis body of knowledge at BABOK guide for the feedback and comments.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So understand that every time, be it any stream, you will find mostly in IT, there is a body of knowledge. It is abbreviated as a BOK, BOK. When it comes to business analysis, so its body of knowledge is called as BOK, that is business analysis body of knowledge. And when they release the guidelines, that is called as the stream name plus BOK. So here it is BA when it will be project management business body of knowledge, it will be PMBOK. Likewise, there have been Scrum BOK as well for Scrum guidelines. However, this body of knowledge or say the guide itself of the BA BOK was the output from this committee when they released the guideline initially in 2005. That was version 1.0. This guide was version 1.0 and it was named as BA BOK 1.0. And but to release it, the knowledge committee was formed in October 2004. Where it was formed? It was formed when Indian Institute of Business Analysis was founded in Toronto in October 2003. And the core intention was what? Just to support this business analysis community. Otherwise, before that, there was no other body which was, standing for this business analysis community. So now you have understood that from where this community has evolved, and there are more examinations are conducted, certifications programs run from IIBA to support, or make a business analyst more credible and more authorized to stand in front of the IT industry. So you need to understand then what is business analysis. I understand that there is a community to support them. So what are their job, why they are needed? These are all things we need to understand. So I want someone to read this for me, please. The first bullet point. Go ahead.
For BABOK guide, V 3.0 version, business analyst is the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders.
Thank you so much for reading this out, Tracy. So yes, the latest BA BOK guide is the version 3.0. What is the version of the latest BA BOK guide, everyone?
3.2.
3.0. That's right.
3.0.
So now for business analysts, the most important thing is that focus should be at one thing. And that is one thing. That one thing is what? Any idea? It has been read in this paragraph. Your focus should be at one thing, and that one thing will be recommended. That one thing will be searched and seeked and conveyed back to customers or stakeholders.
Deliver value to a stakeholder.
That is your personal. That is your personal. You will deliver value from your side, but you can't convey the value. Okay, so one thing you need to convey, one thing you need to notice, one thing you need to enable. And what is that one thing? Change. That's absolutely right. So your focus should be at one place, that is always to the change. Okay, and you need to practice it every single time when the existing application you have developed, when existing application is getting outdated, you should be so much aware and alert that you need to match the existing application with the updated one in the market. And for that, you need to continue to look towards the change, look at the change, how you can introduce it, how you can enable it, how you can recommend it, and how you can bridge the gap in this change. So the more change observer you become, the more change maker you will become, not only for the stakeholders, but also for your own self and also for the organization. So this job is just not create a win-win situation, that creates win-win-win situation. Because if you stop doing it, if you are not recommending the change, if you are not sniffing the change, if you are not bringing the change on the table, what may happen, a project is given to you, that will be done, and that can be delivered easily. Then what will be the flaw when the moment you stopped introducing or bringing the change for the stakeholder? Then what will be the harm? If you are able to complete the project and deliver on time, and you stop recommending the change, what will be the harm? One project came to you, you delivered it well, and you have not advised any further change. What will be the harm to you, especially to you? What will be the harm if you could not introduce the further change? Come on, think about it.
We'll lose the job.
Here you go, Dhruvi. Brilliant answer. So you won't have anything to do. You will be sitting idle. And if you will be sitting idle, of course, you won't have anything to do, and there won't be any money that won't be paid to you. And if there won't be any money to be paid to you, there will be two things. One, either you lose or you will be asked to go. Okay. So in both the ways, you will be on the loss. So change is good or bad?
Good.
Change is the best thing that
Good. Yeah.
you need to always observe. So always be on the toes when it comes to change, because change brings cash. Okay, for you, for the organization, also for client, because they will do better deals, or they will do deal better, okay, with their end user as well. So it is always win-win-win. All right.
So
So
change it business will give, not we cannot change, right? Like a business analyst.
come again, Rosie, I just missed what you said. Change what?
Change business side, they will give the what to change, right? We cannot just
No, you
change.
need to recommend that, Rosie. Okay, because eventually you will become subject matter expert into that. Okay, you need to know, because you are the business analyst, you need to know the market. Okay, what is trending in the market? They may not know. Sometimes they may tell you,
Mhm.
okay, that like other competitors are doing like this. We want to make our application like that. If they tell you, that's good. If they don't tell you that, then it is you who is going to tell them, because ideally it is expected from business analysts, before your client could know, you should be knowing the market trend already. So it is also
Okay.
advised for business analyst, in case you are performing in any domain, having the in and out knowledge will always help you to grow you as a person, grow the organization as a person, and grow a client as a stakeholder for you. Okay, so this is
Okay.
always beneficial as a business analyst. Be the master in that subject, be the banking, payment, or insurance, or healthcare, or utility, or e-commerce, be it whatever domain you are getting into. Just learn that in and out. And the easiest way to know, bare minimum easiest way to master any mm, any domain is, what do you know? What is the easiest way how you can know any domain in and out? Okay, I'll tell you. The easiest way to know that domain in and out, at least master the life cycle, at least know the life cycle, when it starts and where it ends. Okay, mere by knowing this, that will help you to stand into the market in the business analyst position to help the stakeholder. Is it clear to all of you? Yeah. And mere
Yes. Thank
knowledge
you,
will be
sir.
helpful. You're welcome, Rohit. So mere knowledge will be helpful? No. Having knowledge is good. Introducing the change that you will get to know from the market will be good. But the most important thing is the intention to deliver the value will be always supporting you to take the right decision for yourself, for the organization, and for the stakeholder at the top. Okay, so having the intention of delivering the value should always be pointed towards the like a prefix in a word, like a leader in a job. Okay, so like a core intention of any activity, adding the value. Okay, so this is all about finding the change game, making you change maker for the clients, the job of business, is a identifying the simple changes or gaps into the solution. That's the core job of the business analyst. This identification of the gap that you will be recommending, that will be called as business analysis. Then who is that? Who does it? So let's understand who is business analyst. I want someone to read the first paragraph from me. Anyone?
Excuse me, sir. Can you give like more examples on the change
Okay. So first,
that
before
I mean, what kind of changes that they expect from us?
yeah, sure. So change. That's a very good. Uh, so uh, I don't know, means what has been your journey so far. When have you observed the banking system? There was a time when banking could be done only using internet. Okay, the net banking was there, but before that, even before computer era, there was no net banking. Net banking came into existence, but very later, mobile banking was introduced. Okay, so have you seen that when mobile banking was not there, then someone goes to the bank and tell that now everyone is adopting, mobile in their palm, and they want to do everything on the go using the application. Banks who were hesitant enough, okay, like I know who all are their bank in India, who really had been hesitant enough, and their system has yet not have been improved when it comes to mobile banking, but who were very smart and became the leader, who adopted early this idea of going with mobile banking. So the change was introduced in it. There were some of the fund transfer methodology, that was NACHA or ACH was there, and RTH, RTGS was also there, NEFT was also there, IMP was also there. Today, world has been introduced a new method of fund transfer, and that is still being adopted in many countries, and that is doing fund transfer using UPI. Okay, UPI is another payment fund transfer method that is called as unified payment interface, I guess. So that is being adopted. So someone with force of, if someone is recommending that this is the change in the market that you need to adopt, so that is another example. Second example, in insurance, say there used to be underwriter, there used to be agent. So what they used to do, they used to do the formal call, telecall, or connect with the people in person, and they used to get their information, and then they used to write the quotation for them. But today the things have changed. Those who have adopted the technology, they say that whatever these activities are there, you should go ahead and put or ask over the internet, and associated with this technology with your website, so that any person need not to walk into your location available in your county or in your office. They can directly go to your website, and from there they can inquire. So they are adopting the technology by knowing the change, how they have to adapt with the situation. No more need of for customer to walk into the physical office. They can simply walk into the website. Are you able to understand? These are
Yes,
the
sir.
big change example. Okay.
Yeah.
Likewise,
Okay.
there are a minute change example. Like, say for example, earlier everything was designed in a way that they were using Internet Explorer up to Internet Explorer. Now, when Edge was introduced by Microsoft, none of those applications were compatible with the Edge. So the moment the person get to know initially that Microsoft is launching Edge, he will go ahead and tell to the client, hey, do you know in the market what is coming? Edge, your website is not compatible, or your app is not compatible with the this website or with this browser. You will have to make it. Okay, such kind of intro, because tomorrow the world will be going towards the Microsoft. Tomorrow, if you'll get to know about the new browser which is coming, you will be just recommending about that. The entire world is going to be compatible with the new upcoming browser, or you will be lost behind, and you will be behind in the competition. You will lose all your customers. So this is high time now to get more compatible with the new browser and start adopting it. So start working towards that direction. Such kind of input, when you are more aware of the technology, more updated you are that how market is moving. So does it answer your query well?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
awesome. You're welcome. So let's understand who is business analyst now. I want you to read the first bullet point. Anyone, go ahead.
A business analyst is any person who performs business analysis tasks described in the BA guide, no matter their job title or organizational role. Business analysts are responsible for discovering, synthesizing, and analyzing information from a variety of sources within an enterprise, including tools, processes, documentation, and stakeholders. The business analyst is responsible for eliciting the actual needs of its stakeholders, which frequently involves investigating and clarifying their expressed desires in order to determine one second, in order to determine underlying issues and causes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this was the one of the example which I was giving to Preet, that is related to change. Tomorrow, the moment the government has changed, okay, and all the calculation over the software that happens with the existing tax structure. The moment new government is to come, and they are going to, you somehow get to know through your sources that in the next month, government is going to launch a new tax, okay, or going to introduce GST or something like that. Any tax rule may apply. You are going well in advance telling your customer that this is what is going to happen, that you yourself can go ahead and introduce and talk about it. That's number one. Number two, even though you will not go, that will force your customer to come back to you. In case they will not compete or they will not adopt, even after knowing, they may lose the entire business, because they have not implemented well the new tax rules, something like that. That's the very critical example that how adaptation has to happen. Now, to do so, you have to always be updated. That's number one. You are continuously following the guideline from the BOK, that is the business analyst body of knowledge guide release. Okay, and it's your job to continue to discover and analyze the information in the market and the software, and the entire enterprise, how it goes. You need to connect with continuously with your sources, and you are always ahead the tools that your clients are using. Your job, this analysis job, say for example, you are continuously analyzing the processes or the needs of customer. You are understanding the needs of customer, then only you can add the value, or what may customer demand, what others competitors are demanding. If you are studying well in time all of them, this will be quite easy for you to continue to support your stakeholder. And when you are investigating these all requirement or deriving these requirement from your customer, because they have expressed what exactly they need, and gradually you are helping them to improve themselves. Okay, so you will also understand what is the existing flaw. Say for example, customer was very they are into the starting mode, and they could only handle, or their software is in a way that they can only cater 15 people on their application, because they don't need many more, because they it has been designed only for the elite market or only for elite individuals who are people like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates. Only they need to use this, and they can only handle such 15 people. But tomorrow they understood that everyone wants to become Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Trump or someone who wants to really compete them. They will have to make their application more better. And for that, if you are the business analyst of the company where these client has been accommodated, you need to suggest them that competition has gone really above the line, and such Trumps are more there in the race, such Warren Buffet are more there in the race, and we need to cater. 15 will not work. At least we need to go and cater at least 500, and your application should be able to handle that. These are our elite client, and we need to enhance. And it will be quite easy for the company or stakeholder to understand the need, and they will definitely understand you, and they will support you to help them to accommodate the new technology or new enhancement. I mean, for that, what you did, you just studied the market, you just studied the growth and growth rate and how the trend has been for individual. So the more aware you are, the more alert you are, then only you can suggest such analyze data or suggest some improvement, so that it will be accepted by your client. So here the analyzing is the key indicator, and that when you are analyzing, the more important part is continue to document them. And the more you will be into this, you will continue to find that how the processes are getting improvement, because improvising the processes will be your key contribution as well, because your focus is towards the change and towards the requirement and understanding it, and just eliciting it. So this is how this is what who does is business analyst. Okay, so why it is needed, that also we need to understand. And for that, I'll so this job, the understanding the requirement, adapting the requirement, analyzing the requirement, and thereby documenting it and helping to improve the process and all. So this is the role that has been also defined in the Scrum. Okay, so as a Scrum master, you should be knowing what also the business analysts are doing, so that you should be knowing. Let's understand why business analyst was needed. And I want someone to read first two bullet point for me, please.
Change and life happens. Project requires flexibility and adaptation to respond to change. One has to analyze the impact due to change.
Yeah, so here more advocacy towards the changes there, which we have been talking. That change and life happens. What does it mean? It means that anything can go outdated. Okay, um, based on various factor. It could be political factor, political decision. It could be environmental factor. It could be legal factor. It could be social factor. It could be social media factor. It could be anything. Okay, and based on that, change has to take place, and change has to be adapted. So every project requires that adaptation, and more ahead you are and more in sync with the market you are, you can understand and suggest those tweak and change and a new technology to your customer. Else by when the customer will come back to you, my dear friend, you understand that will be more outdated, and that will be more difficult to help them to be always ahead in the market. uh, Trust me, as a well-wisher, you will always want your customer to do well. Why? Because they are paying you. Okay, they are paying you money, so that they could do better in the market. If they will fall behind, ultimately that is going to be indirectly your loss. So you don't want this to happen, and that's the reason there is a selfish meaning behind helping your customers, so that the more ahead they will be in the market, more well paid you will be back. Okay, so that has to be there. So, and its impact will always remain there because that is impacting their business as well, their revenue as well. I want someone to read the last bullet point for me over here.
This one is business analyst who analyze the changes, impact, gather requirement, and liaise with the stakeholders.
Okay, so it's liaising with stakeholder. That means they will continue to communicate with the stakeholder. But what they will communicate? They will communicate any change that they will understand. The first business analyst, they will analyze how the market is going and how your software is performing, customer software is performing. Any gap they will identify, they will suggest that gap fulfillment idea to the customer. So when they will suggest, they will do their prior study that how it is impacting the software, how it will impact to the customer, and all this data they will require. Okay, and for that sometime data analysis job will be also good. Say for example, some company launched say for example Dairy Milk launched their new product with the new flavor in Bergen County. Okay, and that was more famous towards uh, in the age group of 10 to 15, and in the month of spring the sale always happen, unbelievable, incredible, and always historic sales happen, but they don't understand why it is happening. Okay, so they may name it, they may do some changes what is happening with that particular time. They will hire data analysts to do and do the research on the search performance of that particular product, and based on that they may launch in the another county the similar kind of flavor. But the rest of the time when it is not performing, they will do their further analysis as well. So when it comes to analyst, data analyst will play the vital role, but also this business analyst will continue to study the change and impact they are gathering. Sometimes they also gather from the data analyst in their own company, but also they may gather from business analyst at client's location, or also directly from the customer. Okay, if they don't have the business analyst appointed for themselves. So this is how this is why business analysts are needed. Okay, business analysis job is needed so that they can be communicated with entire stakeholder what exactly customer needs. So it will have the cycle. So how it is. So first, any enterprise will be analyzed. Okay, why they will be analyzed? So that any requirement, any change can be understood, managed, and planned, and should be elicited further and communicated with all the stakeholder. And once communicated, its thought evolution, its thought validation happen, and thus it can be understood whether it is the evolving change or not, further it can evolve or not. If everything is frozen, then that requirement will be analyzed to document, and the moment it is documented, this implementation is happening. Further, the analysis of the enterprise will be continued so that any new introduction to the new requirement will be planned, managed, and this will continue to follow in the similar manner. Is it understood and got by everyone? Every one of you understood it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Any questions so far, my dear friend? Any questions? Yes, no? Say no if you don't have.
No, sir.
Okay. Silence is no.
No, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
No. Okay.
All right. Prerna, do you want to take this? Let me know if you're here.
Yes, Gaurav. I'll start with this.
Okay, sure.
So, welcome all for this super interesting journey of understanding BA role in detail. So, these are some important and I would say realistic prerequisites for becoming a BA, business analyst. So, most of this are kind of easy to understand, easy to acquire, and rather I would say you already have these prerequisites. So starting with there are 6. I would request one person to just read out the 6 points, and then I'll just explain one by one. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Degree and domain knowledge.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read all the 6 points.
Okay. Analytical skills, Microsoft Excel, negotiation skills, SQL nowadays, communication skills.
Okay. So there are 6 pointers mentioned, out of which degree and domain is the first one, and which is kind of covered by this course, right? So you are getting a degree here, you are getting the knowledge here. We are teaching you the what is required to be a BA, what is a theoretical or practical approach, what are the documents you need to prepare, and things like that. Second is analytical skills. So yes, so along with this course and the first point, we will also teach you how to analyze data. What are the different methods wherein you can play with the data, understand data better, and things like that. And the third point is, Gaurav, can you just take over for a bit? Hello? Oh, one second. Yeah. So third point is Microsoft Excel. So if you guys remember, while giving the example of MS Excel, I have been talking a lot. About, are you guys aware of Microsoft Excel? Have you worked on Microsoft Excel? So that I think all of you have worked on Microsoft Excel. Yes. Yes. No.
Yes,
No?
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
We have. You all know Microsoft. Oh my goodness. Wait, wait. So you all have worked on Microsoft Excel, right? So this prerequisite is ticked off. The next point is negotiation skills. Now tell me, especially for ladies, do you feel that you want to understand or learn negotiation skills, or this is one of the skills that we all are born with, right? Let it be vegetable market or any sale anywhere, uh, we all are, I think, human beings are equipped with, how to negotiate to get the best price, the best solution, or anything that you want at a cheaper, at a comfortable, at a rate that you want it for, right? So negotiation skills, if I have to ask, it's kind of inbuilt in most of the human beings. Very few people, there are exceptions, they don't negotiate, they just take at the face value and come home. But then negotiation skills are mostly there, even nowadays kids, they also negotiate, like, okay, I'll study if you give me a chocolate, or I'll come with you, you give me the extra playtime, or it's like, I'll study well, then you have to give me a tab or give me more screen time. So these are actually what negotiations, right? So this is important. And the second last point is SQL. Okay, SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and SQL is used to access database. Okay, so what it does, that you all know that there are two parts to the software, right? Front end and back end. Front end means whatever application or whatever website you see, that is your front end. Whereas all the data, like, all the pictures that you see on Amazon.com, all the details written about a project, or all the, I would say, how your user information is stored. Whenever you log in, your earlier orders and all, everything is shown, right? Have you seen your profile on Amazon.com anytime? Like, if you want to check that, okay, what did I order last year? Are you able to search that? Anybody has done that? Yes, no? Yes. So how do you think all that? So that data is stored in the back end, and that back end or that database is accessed via SQL. So if you see, it's mentioned nowadays, right? So it's a good to have skill. We are not saying that every BA must know SQL, but nowadays, many people are little tech savvy, and it's an add-on to your, existing skill set. So SQL is preferred. We will guide you if you are interested in learning SQL. There is a very good website by the name of three as a number, w3schools.com. I'll send you that website in the chat in some time. So on that website, you can learn about these skills, at a beginner level. Very good explanation, very well, give examples so you will feel comfortable. That's again at your wish. It's not that it must be there. That's why we have mentioned nowadays. And the last point is, give me a second. And the last point is communication skills. Communication skills. So we all know, as human being, we communicate for about everything and for everything, right? You, since you are a kid, you know, as a newborn baby, after a couple of months, you start responding to emotions. You know, you cry when you're hungry, or you respond to fear, laugh, smile. So that is the way we started communication. So I think if you're able to communicate to the other person what you feel, or what is there in your mind, that is a clear communication. And also, one important point about communication skills is that communication skills does not having good communication skills does not mean that you have to be very pro in any particular language, per se English, or you have to use very affluent and very heavy words and jargons. No, communication skills simply means whatever you're trying to tell the other person or other party, that has to be clear and that has to be understood by that person or by that team or firm, whatever you're communicating with whom. Okay, so it's simple. If you write what you feel and what you want to share, or your thoughts or your decisions or whatever, in organizations, sometimes you have to give clarification, you have to ask query. If you are comfortable to write that in a plain English or understandable language, simply means you have good communication skills. So don't worry about all the jargons, or okay, my English is, maybe it's not as affluent as it is in the organization. It doesn't matter. When you know your domain, you have your background, you are very well equipped with Excel, and you know your work. That's it. So I think majority of you have more than 50 or 60% of the skills, excluding SQL. Yes, guys. Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
6 point
Yes.
everybody has, 4 point majorly everybody has. Third, also I'm saying Microsoft Excel. Yes, nowadays, thanks to your kids or younger ones in the family, everybody's learning. And first and second, we are there to ensure you that you get well trained in that. Okay. So this is simply what it means. And here, if you could see, it's mentioned how to become a business analyst. Okay. So I would request 5 different people to read out the boxes which are mentioned about this person's head, about this BA's head,
Need
starting with a need.
identification.
Perfect.
Elicitation and
Next.
collaboration.
Requirement
Perfect.
Requirements, communication.
communication.
Mm-hmm.
Requirement modeling.
Requirement
Yeah.
management.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reading it out. So yes, so as a BA, what all activities you'll have to perform, that's mentioned here. So starting with need identification. So basically, what is the need of the customer, if I have to call it, right? So when a customer comes to any organization with a request that, okay, we want to create this website or this application, and so as a BA, you have to understand what they are looking at, what are their needs, what is their focus area, or do they want to advertise their product in a better way? Do they want to expand their market area, or are they are planning to launch something new, introducing that to the this market? So whatever it is, understand their needs. That is identifying their needs, okay, while discussing with them. Then elicitation and collaboration. That means more and more you have discussions, communication, sitting together in the conference room with the customer or their point of contact, or their designated person, to understand what all in detail requirements they have. So that is basically, you understand. Elicitation means you understand, and how you understand, by collaborating with them. So that's why communication skills comes in the picture. Okay, so as a BA, you will have a lot of one-on-one or group meetings with the customer and overall, their side of the party, whoever comes to share their requirements. Okay. Now, third is requirements communication. So once you have understood or you have discussed all the requirements and details with them, now is the time to communicate them. So what is the best way to communicate requirement? The best way to communicate requirement is to prepare a certain documents. Okay, we will learn all these documents in detail in upcoming sessions. So starting with a BRD, that is business requirement document, or it's also called as FSD, that is functional specification document. So, preparing BID, preparing flow diagrams, preparing charts. So all these things, basically it starts with BRD. So when you mention your scope, not your project scope and every detailed requirements in the BRD, and then you share that with the customer that, okay, this is our understanding of your requirements. Kindly review it and, let us know if it is, up to the mark, any amendments, any updates requires and things like that. Okay. So that is what we call as requirement communication. So whatever you understood, you share with them and ensure that it is proper, it is right, and there is no gap. So requirement modeling. So that is what requirement modeling means. Then once the BRD is confirmed, then then they might, they might tweak some things or update some things and they give it back to you. Then you update that BRD with version 1.0, because earlier version was like maybe 0, or maybe earlier was 1, now it is 1.1 because there's a change. And then you start preparing different diagrams, flow chart, and every flow diagram or other entity relationship diagram, all these things you start preparing. So what you're doing here, do not get blown away by the big names. We will teach you all this in a very simple manner. So all these flow diagrams and charts show you how the data will be managed in an application, how it is maintained in an application, what the customer requires, how many parties are involved in the data. So it's all about, to be very honest, about data, right? So business analyst is a lot has to work with the data, what the customer data simply means refined information. Okay, if somebody asks you what's the data, so simply say what the information that we gather, and from that what sense we make, it's called as data. Okay. And the last but not the least is requirement management. So as a BA, it will be your lifelong I would say responsibility to manage the requirements, that whatever they share, whatever the customer share with you, and whatever it's within the scope, that has to be developed. But then in case if there are some additional requirements, in case there are some updations, in case there is something new that has been added by the customer, so you always have to ask yourself these three questions: that is it within the scope, is it gonna affect my timeline, is it gonna affect my budget? Okay. If all these three things are, I mean if it is not in the scope and other two things are out of the scope and out of the timeline, then that thing would simply be has to be reviewed by your seniors. That can start with other, from scrum master to product owner, that can even go to your senior management. So all this hierarchy has to first review and accept that, because see, the customer has decided to pay you certain amount or certain funds beside depending on the agreement and the timeline given. Like for 6 months they're planning to give you say 10 million. Okay, it's a big amount, but I'm just saying it. But if tomorrow they add some functionality which is technically very challenging or which might take a lot of time, so you might require 1 or 2 additional months, and you would definitely require a lot of funds for that. So all these things will not be or should not be done at free of the cost, right? It has to be reviewed and it has to be approved by your seniors. So you as a person cannot definitely make decision on your own. So that's why whatever data or information keeps coming, you have to manage that throughout your lifespan as a being. I know this is a new thing for all of you. There are new terminologies, new understanding. But if you have any doubts, let me know. If we do not have any doubts, I'll request Gaurav to go for the next slide. And right now, I'll just suggest you to just, digest or absorb everything that we are discussing. Once you settle down, you rewatch the video, there will be definitely a lot of things will get, more clear. You will get a better clarity. And in case you still have any doubts, you can definitely connect with us and we will, explain you about that. Yeah. So roles and responsibilities of business analysis. So now this is in continuation of in what we were just discussing right now. So basically, if you see roles and responsibilities, can two people read it out, the first sentence and this next sentence, please?
Business analysts work across all levels of an organization and may be involved in everything from defining strategy to creating the enterprise architecture, to taking a leadership role by defining the goals and requirements for programs and projects or supporting continuous improvement in its technology and processes.
Business
Okay, the
analysis
next line.
helps businesses to do businesses better.
Okay. So I will start with the second line. It's more of a I would say one liner than a point. So what it says is business analysis helps businesses do business better. So it simply means when you have a BA who is there to analyze your work, your business, your requirements from the client and ensuring there is no gap. All this study helps your business to do better or to grow, to make profits, okay, to perform better. So that is why it is important. Now coming back to the first point. So see what they are saying that BAs do not have a particular limit. As in, if I have to call it, development team is generally very much into their own team, and if required they connect with testers and the BAs as and when they want to, right? But they are not the people who will go and sit with client every time. Now in Scrum many a times you do sit with the customer or connect with them, but usually it's allocated or assigned people, assigned team members, and then they definitely do not go to meetings or the client meetings, unless it's a head designer or it's a, I would say, senior architect who has some doubts or some queries to be cleared, to get cleared from the customer. So there I wanted to mention that their scope of communication is basically within development team and testing team and some with BA and at times with customers, okay? But this is not the case with BA. BAs communicate with all the levels. Now you may ask, Prerna, what is all levels? All levels simply means all the stakeholders. Everybody remember stakeholders? Yes, no? Just a quick recap.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yes.
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 So
Yes.
who is a stakeholder? Yeah. Everybody sleepy today.
Business.
Developer.
Okay.
Client.
I want more of a understanding than who are they. So I wanted to ask what is a stakeholder? Okay. I'll just reframe my question.
Business people, stakeholders, customers, client.
Let me give you a very simple explanation of stakeholders, which I have personally kind of engraved in my memory. So, stakeholder is a person or a team who has a stake, that means interest in your project. That's the simplest definition of a stakeholder. So it can be your senior management, it is definitely your customer, it is definitely development testing team, it can be an external another company whose resources are working for your project, so anybody, anyone who is involved in this project is or who is interested in a project, in your project, is your stakeholder. Okay. I remember during my early days I created a website, developed a website which was for the, I would say, accumulating or kind of getting donation for the we launched it on 2nd October, if I'm not wrong, but it was more like for environment or for CSR activities like corporate social responsibilities, right? So in that scenario, though HR and that team was not in direct contact, but then they were our stakeholders because they were quite concerned about how many people are contributing and how it is managed and things like that. Okay. So everyone who has interest in your project is your stakeholder. Always remember this. Huh? So coming to the next further point that yeah, so that is why a BA is involved in all the levels across organization. And so this mentioned from where, so from defining strategy, that means very senior management people when they define strategy, to creating enterprise architecture. So if you remember, we understood about what is an I would say enterprise architecture. So that simply means whichever web application or application, mobile application you prepare or you create, that already has an architecture. Architecture means, have you all seen a blueprint of a house? Maybe in live or in TV, on YouTube, blueprint of a house or a building, how that they prepare the structure first on paper. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes. Are you aware? They all the lines and all the measurements are mentioned,
Yes, yes,
So
ma'am. Yeah.
that's a visual way, but also in IT, in software, you also makes architecture of your application. Like, okay, there will be 4 departments and there will be this way data will flow. Okay, login is here and we are kind of hiding this data. So all that, though it doesn't concern you much, but because you will not be preparing it in on very minute level, you will be a part of discussion. Rather, as a BA, you will give the inputs to them. Okay, that customer wants this data, or this way the architecture, kindly prepare it, or let us know when you will be able to deliver that. So defining strategy, creating enterprise architecture, taking leadership by defining the goals and requirements of programs and projects. So as a BA, it's just not that you're managing data and you're behind the scenes. No, you have to at certain time take leadership. If there is some conflict of interest, if there is something that the customer is pushing, but which was not any time mentioned or agreed upon. So that time you have to take a lead. You have to come in the picture and say that we did not ever discuss this. It was not mentioned in the agreement. It's not a part of scope. So there'll be certain chances when you'll get to shine, and it's good that you do, because that's your job. You have to ensure that nothing is going haywire and everything is documented well and understood well. And the last point is supporting continuous improvement in its technology and processes. So, in your entire lifespan, it is your utmost responsibility that whatever information, whatever collaboration with you do with all the other teams, your focus has to be that your application has all the features, it's technically sound, it is for your entire project life cycle is following proper processes. I remember when I joined certain Indian companies 10 years back, they barely had any process for anything. So my first job, even that time, I was working as a developer come as a customer association, or the kind of BA and developer mix role. So I started with preparing processes. So processes are very important. Like those are like the stepping stones or go to steps when you do not know what has to be followed or what has to be done. So please understand, it's very important. So as in all, role of BA is very crucial, very demanding and very useful. And all the big companies are asking for good BAs because they are a very crucial part of any project, any or every project. Okay. So any doubts in this explanation is more about what they do and how they do it. So if no, then we can go to the next slide. Yeah, good. Yes.
Yeah, we can go next.
Yeah, sure. Gaurav, we can go to next slide.
All right. Any questions so far to anyone?
No, everybody is good. I just asked that. Yeah.
Okay. So
Not
It's
so
more of explanation, right? So as of now, I guess they are just absorbing, and definitely if they have something, please do come to us,
So it's yeah, definitely. But all of you understand that this is a big responsibility to cater just business analysis. As the name suggests, you just need not to analyze, but it's yet easy that you need to communicate. So communication is key for business analyst. So even if that is understood, so because sometime, if you refrain from not to communicate, that may bring you sometime in trouble. So, I mean, if someone had been in this role, they may understand how it has, sometime it has played a vital role and sometime critical role, that something was to be conveyed and it was not conveyed on time. It was conveyed late, then it may create some trouble. So always remember, even conveying on time is quite vital for this role. Okay, that's the reason I'm just asking. So far, you're good that how it plays a critical and vital role, and you are able to understand the things, right? Easy to digest.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So, Gaurav, in the previous slide, Prerna talked about the degree and the domain knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Just a question here that the person who is new to this business analysis role,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't have any domain knowledge, then how to get the domain knowledge? And are we going to learn the domain knowledge in this course?
Okay. So, do you remember that I told you something related to domain just while ago when I was? Anyone remember that? That
Yeah,
minimum, if you'll understand
just
this
know the product life cycle.
life cycle, bare minimum, if you know the life cycle, there are chances you will eventually become the master into that. So, bare minimum requirement is knowing the life cycle. What critical domains may appear. It may be related to payment domain in banking. Okay, that is one. It could be the insurance domain, although you might be knowing, but just for technicality purpose, if we will cover that, that will be helpful for you. Say, for example, healthcare or pharma. So if these three things, which are somewhere related to BFSI domain, that is towards the banking, finance, investment, or something like or insurance, will be quite helpful for you. Do you agree with this? Some e-commerce and all that you will be able to handle, how things are ordered, browsed, and delivered to you, right? With me so far, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, so these three critical, like related to payment, insurance, and healthcare and all, these we will must cover it somehow. But extra what we can do, if time permits, we can go ahead with the utility and HRM, human resource management and all. So I think if these we can let you know, and we will also teach you that if tomorrow you are going to explore some new domain, how you can just in a less time, maximum in 10 minutes, you can do your own personal research and come up with their own their its own life cycle and continue to be a master on that. So that will also be helpful for you, yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
Yes.
could be. Means I definitely, when I'm telling that, I'll tell you, means I'll tell you the easiest way. So easiest way is when I said, means it is going to be easy, right? And what you're going to
Okay.
learn over here, you will have the access to me and Prerna where you can ask. So anyway, we are covering you from all the direction. So that will give you more confidence or less? More.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agree.
agree.
So
Yes. Yeah.
wait till it gets over, and we will be covering some of the domain as well. But and at the same time, we will be telling you how few more domain you can go ahead and do research related to life cycle of that. Okay, all right.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank
Okay, you're welcome. So yes, Prerna. So business analysis continues. So yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes, Gaurav.
So you want to continue, or should I go ahead?
I can continue.
Okay. So here. Yeah, sure.
Yes. So these are some of the tools which are important while you learn about BA or business analyst. Most of them are also explained in this course. So some of them will definitely would be explained by Gaurav, and some are important and these are very easy that I'll just explain. So the top 10 business analysis tools start with Microsoft Office Suite, that we all know that MS Office has Excel, PPT, PowerPoint, Word document, everything. Even Microsoft Project is also there, that's additional to MS Office. So all these things are very important because it's like an under one umbrella you can prepare multiple documents, right? So for your BRD or FSD, you use Word document, or for your diagrams and all that, you might use PPT, like how to show or have a particular diagram. For your data representation, in case if there is survey or something like that, you would use Excel. And then for Google Docs, has anybody used Google Docs? Yeah, do you use Google Docs?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah, you know how
yes.
handy it is. If there's
Yes,
something you
very
want, you
good.
just upload that on Google Docs and you can access that
Yeah,
anywhere in the
automation.
world. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is also very handy. So I have personally majorly used these two along with Jira and little bit of Trello. So Gaurav, will you continue on this IBM and Balsamic, because you will
Yeah,
be in a better
so
position to
there
explain.
are tons
Thank
of tools, okay, and you need not to know all of them. Many of them we are going to cover, okay. Like as a business analyst, what would you require? You would require for analyzing the data, where easily you can analyze. When some requirement is gathered somewhere for that, Microsoft Words, yeah, means the word processing software should be there. So those are covered in Microsoft Suite, or say in the Google Suite, or say in IBM Suite. These are the different companies: IBM, Microsoft, Google. Okay, and they have their own office management softwares. When we are talking about office management software, they comes with different tools like spreadsheet, word processing, presentation, and all. So those all are covered. What top 10 business analyst tools you are uh, seeing here, of course not everything is being used. Few have become outdated. When the slide were taken, that time they were just budding, but they lost their way into the market. So but still, few processes and few technology and few analysis tools are being used. So when I'm talking about analysis tool, one of them analysis tool are SWOT analysis. Okay, SWOT, you will be learning about it. IBM Requisite Pro, that also comes with like a Google's office management tool is there, like Google Docs. Microsoft Office Suite will have word processing or spreadsheet. Likewise, Pencil is there, Trello is there, Smart Draw, where project can be managed, and version one to maintain the version. So there are few tools that you would require that will be helpful to manage the version, for storage, for analysis, for presentation. Those all things you will be learning. What are few frequent business analysts are using, that you are going to learn. So for that, I'm going to take you onto the another slide. So this is these are used for analysis and reporting. MS PowerPoint will be used for presentation. You can just um, uh, create various decks and slide, like we are using right now, PowerPoint slide, where you will find the various diagrams, design, and text available, and using that we are presenting it. So anyone here who has not ever used Microsoft PowerPoint, please let me know. Who has not used it? If you have used it, it's okay. Okay, anyone who has not used it, then I can tell that you can go ahead and try it. Whatever you are presenting, you can present in. So we will also give you opportunity to sometime to present something. So that time you can acquire this opportunity to using PowerPoint for that matter. Then comes another tool that will be also good for analysis and reporting, and that is MS Excel. MS Excel is where some calculation happens, some summary, sometimes you summarize the data. So we will be touching a topic which will be calling it as a data analytics, business analytics using Excel. So that time it will be quite easy for you to learn. Okay, you can segregate various data. By the way, are you all awake and listening and able to understand? Just say yes if you all are awake.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyone who has gone slept, just say I. If you are already
You
slept.
are already slept.
Okay, I
Okay,
understand.
I
You won't be
understand.
able to
You
speak.
won't be able to speak.
All right, never mind. So there would be tons of data, okay, in spreadsheet. You need to manage them. You need to summarize them. You need to visualize them. You need to create chart against them. You need to filter them. How will you manage such data? For that, MS Excel is there. So say for example, database is just like a spreadsheet. It's just like a tabular form. Okay, so some table can be really big. Say for example, any school or university maintaining customer data. So for any school and university, who will be their customer? What do you think? Who will be their customer? Have you gone to school, everyone, and college and university? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And you had been the student, but you are also the customer. You had been the customer for school, colleges. In fact, sometimes, from doctors, you will just hear it's all about the patient. But for doctors, you are also client, for also you are the customer. So see, when you are playing the role of business analysis or business analyst, we will be always telling you or sharing the information with you from the customer's point of view, because now you are entering into business. Now you are dealing into the business, and you need to understand the need of need of the stakeholder when it comes to deal with customer. With me so far? Say yes, if you are with me. Thank you so much. So all those data has to be maintained. If, say for example, if one person goes to doctor, and I don't know how many of you know the homeopathy doctor. Anyone here who does not know, who practice homeopathy? It is most in Asia, mostly in India, it is quite popular. Yeah. Anyone who does not know this therapy of homeopathy other than allopath? There are various ways to treat patient. So what they do, they maintain data. How they maintain? If any pills or any drug or any medicine which is improving the health condition of patient, how it has been improved, and thereby they continue to taper the medicine, but they continue to maintain the data. Okay, are you able to connect, relate, understand, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So they need to maintain those data. Sometimes that data of 10 years. Anyone here who ever used Google Drive?
Yes.
Okay. And if you are using more than 10 years, has it ever gone full? Means you don't have any data storage. Such alert you have received ever?
Yes.
Yes. So such storage management has to be done. Likewise, in some time it may happen in a MS Excel. There is no point to continue to keep and maintain those data. That has to be managed well, and for that, Excel is some super duper. Excel comes with superpower, I would say. Okay, this is the most amazing tool and most underutilized tool. Okay, so that part we will see that how it's a minimum element you can use and you can gain the maximum output of it. And for that reason, we will see quickly pivot table and how to examine the trend, how you can sort and filter and create chart and graph into that. So that we will be learning. Then comes Microsoft Word. Microsoft is word processing document. There you can definitely insert object, change the font, writing style, and you can add the shapes and charts and drawing, and of course the text you can write, and it will be quite useful. Do you know when? Ask me when. Just say
Making
when.
When?
Okay, thank you that you asked, and that's the reason I'm going to tell you. So mostly as a business analyst, you will be using this for the requirement gathering. Okay. Understood? All the requirement, initially it had been maintained in the Microsoft Word. I'll tell you that how you cannot use Microsoft Word very, very soon. Okay. Yes, you heard it right. Cannot use. Okay. So, and the last here in this slide is MS Visio. MS Visio, where you can create various steps, various diagrams. You can use this diagram creation to indicate to the user what all the steps can be followed. Okay. Anyone here who have ever used flowchart since your childhood?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone here who
Yes.
okay. Anyone who has not used? Okay. So I guess everyone has used. So if you have used, MS Visio play a vital role to understand that how you can form various flowchart. Okay. So when you develop the processes, flowchart has to be the foundation. What all the process diagram you can create and architecture diagram you can create. Although architectural diagram you will not have to develop, but definitely a few flowchart diagram you will have to develop. So having said so, I don't want to go more technical. I think it's better to take a pause, and tomorrow we will learn some, not tomorrow, in the next class, we will learn some analysis, the way to analyze. So we will begin with the requirement, types of requirement, and we will start that how it is gathered. Next time we will be talking about it, any process. And third, we will be touch basing any problem, how to analyze, develop an insight, and come to the solution of it. Okay, so this is what we will be learning in the next class. But till now, it has been the starter for the business analysis and the initial tools that you could use. Okay. So Bansi has used MS Visio. Great. So if you have used us, that is going to be helpful. Any question around it? Anyone? I will appreciate if you will have a question. You can ask, because this is the right time where you can speak. This is the right time where you can ask the question and go without any doubt. If no question, I want you to come here. Okay. I want you to come here. Go to your WhatsApp group. Okay. And this time, everyone who has spoken, who has remained silent, go ahead and just tell what has been your top learning. Okay. Based on that, you will be your attendance will be recorded. So what has been your top learning, that I am going to write here? What has been your top learnings? Go ahead and answer it. So we'll see. And I'm going to personally review all of them. So this spelling correction. So this is the new, new feature has been introduced. Do you know? In WhatsApp, this has been the new feature. Do you all know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Editing, yeah.
Yeah. So some, it's not only one person, but continuously people are suggesting to WhatsApp that go ahead and do this, do this kind of, modification, bring I have deleted the past message. Do you see that? Here some past message was deleted. This was one feature. It was earlier not there in WhatsApp. Do you know that? You could not delete the past message, but now you can delete it. Earlier, you never used to delete the past chat or edit that. Now you can do that. Now, what else the limitation had been? The limitation had been that you cannot edit anything that you have posted before 15 minutes. Again, eventually that that will also be eliminated. So these are the feature. Business analysts, if at all are there, they have to advocate about such features. Okay, there could be multiple features. Imagine if you have been hired as a business analyst in Meta, and one module or a project has been given to you that is for WhatsApp. Okay, what kind of requirement immediately comes in your mind should you be suggesting over there in WhatsApp? Anything that comes in your mind as a user? Because if you're today's user, you can easily talk about it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So for that, you have to become the user. In case you are not user, start thinking from user point of view, and that will make your job more easier. So go ahead, continue, and just type your top learning, everyone. And I think we have, so I'm going to personally review all of them, what has been your top learning, and based on that, your, attendance will be recorded. Come back with your summary videos as well. So that's it for today. So Prerna, any closing remarks from your end, you can definitely add.
Yes, so today we have started an important journey of BA, understanding BA role. So I'll request everyone to prepare themselves and rewatch the videos, and definitely prepare videos. The smaller ones we have been discussing quite a few times in every session, but not much movement on that. So everyone, please prepare small videos so we can actually upload those videos on our YouTube channel, and that will also give you a sense of, I would say, confidence and understanding of the topics, and you will indirectly be showcased on our channel as well, right? So that's a win-win for all of us. So please do that, and overall a great session. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much. Over to
Yeah.
you, Gaur.
And one last important announcement, in case you have not been attending the RRP session, please go ahead, do that. Get your profile created, your resume prepared. So your resume will be prepared where? In RRP session. Do I require to prepare your resume, or me or Prerna required to prepare your resume?
No.
What? No, not at all. It's RRP team who is going to help you to prepare that. So get it approved by Devji. Once it is approved, and remember, your resume has to be below 5 pages only. Okay. Once it is approved, then only share over the WhatsApp itself with me and Prerna. Okay. And we will review it, and we will give you a quick feedback. Then you can incorporate that and keep yourself prepared for the upcoming mock interview. Okay. So for mock interview, you will have to get your resume approved, then bring the approved resume for our quick feedback. Is it clear to all of you, everyone? Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the assignment for this week, sir?
Okay. So for now, there is no assignment, but summary you have to bring. So summary is the assignment. So I have been talking about said and unsaid assignment. So have you been also noticing that, or you are missing, Sayed?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. So last time, some time ago, we asked you to do the user story. Not every time we will be asking you to do something, but sometime we are expecting you to do the unsaid assignment as well. Yeah, there will be time when again we will be asking you to do some other activity. But if we are not asking, it means we are asking you to come back with the summary for sure. Okay, because you are the face of any project and you need to face the customer. If you cannot prepare for those scenes today, how you can face those scenes tomorrow? Okay, so be the face of any project. So start preparing your summary video starting from there. Thank you so much, everyone, for your involvement, and I believe that you understood everything. Also write whether you could understand, relate, or connect with the topic today or not. Was it easy for you to understand? So I would love to hear that. And in case you have not added, already posted in the WhatsApp, go ahead, edit that, use that feature, and then write it. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you again on when? On next Sunday. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night, everyone. Thank you all.
Good
Thank you,
night.
sir.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.